Hello students, welcome to Legacy IAS Academy. In today's video, we are going to discuss about a recent report that has been released by institute functioning under IIT Delhi. The report is related to the status of road safety in India. So let us try to understand what are the major findings of this particular report. So first of all, to give the brief background, the India Status Report on Road Safety 2024, as it is called, is released by TRIP Center at IIT Delhi, that is Transportation Research and Injury Prevention Center, that is its full form. And it has highlighted that India is progressing but at a very slow speed, at very slow pace as far as reducing the road accident fatalities is concerned. In this regard, it also has emphasized that there is an organic connection that exists between the road construction, mobility, and the need for differentiated approach to mitigate the road accidents. So let us try to go slightly more in depth of this report. Now, as far as the report itself is concerned, the major, we can say, basis of this report is to analyze the road safety in India. And this analysis is because there is no such, what we can say, a systematic reporting of road accident. It is done by taking data from different places, different groups, different organizations, such as police stations where we have the filing of FIR, or audits of the state compliance that has been done along according to the guidelines and compliance with the directives of the Supreme Court on road safety governance. Now, it exposes the disparities in road traffic death rate across the states, emphasize the vulnerability of motorcyclists and the high rate of fatal crashes involving trucks. Basically, what it means that most of the victims of road accident across the 6 states where the data has been recorded from are the people who are traveling on two-wheelers, that can be bikes, scooters, and similar kind of vehicles. And similarly, the vehicles which has been the main cause behind the accident, which has caused the fatalities, are the trucks. Obviously, being the large vehicles, obviously the death rate becomes higher if there is a collision between truck and any other smaller vehicles. So this is something that has been highlighted in the particular report. Road traffic injuries remain a major public health challenge in India, with little progress in reducing both the fatalities despite advancement in the other sectors as we are seeing. So in other way, as per this report, it says that the road sector is something, or traffic sector is something that is kind of not given that much attention, or more work is required here. To understand more clearly, let us look at the major findings of the report itself. Now, the road traffic injury, as per the report, is believed to be the 13th leading cause of death in India and 12th leading cause of health loss. So death is something that we can understand. Now let us try to understand the term health loss. What does the health loss means? Now health loss is something that is calculated by using a term called as a DALY, that means disability adjusted life year. Disability adjusted life year is overall, we can say, it is a measure of disease burden expressed as the cumulative number of years lost due to the ill health, disability, or earlier death. So if we try to understand how it is calculated, we can look at the simple calculation here, simple formula here. For example, let us suppose a person is leading a healthy life up to this year, and he was expected to, basically we can say expected life here was something here, let us say up to 80 years. Now the years that is lived with a disability, suppose here at this particular juncture, let us say at 25 years of age, an individual has been in a road accident due to which he became permanently disabled. So after 25 years, we have to calculate the years lived with disability. And it also is possible that due to the disease and disability, or the we can say as an basically as a repercussion of the accident, he might have to experience early death as well. So the person dies, let us say, in 60 years. So we have 25 to 60, that is 35, plus 20 years lost due to early death. So 35 plus 20. So that is 55 years. So that is something that we can call as disability adjusted life year to understand about the health losses. So the 12th leading cause of health loss in India is also road accident. Now if we talk about the 6th state where the report has conducted the survey, being Haryana, Jammu Kashmir, Ladakh, Punjab, Rajasthan, Uttarakhand, UP. Ladakh basically and Jammu Kashmir collectively you can consider as a union territory. Here road traffic injuries rank among the top 10 causes of health loss. Similarly, most of the Indian states are unlikely to meet the United Nations Decade of Action for Road Safety goal that UN has proposed to halve the traffic deaths by 2030. Now, this is something that most of the states are not likely to achieve the target, because obviously the intervention of the state in this area or in this sector is very, very minimal in nature. Now, further, if we try to understand the surveillance, crash surveillance, that is something which is lacking in India. Report highlights that India's national road safety data systems are insufficient for the guiding of public policy. Now, if we try to understand, any public policy is based on a research, based on the empirical evidences, based on the objective findings, and for these you need to have a lot of data along with you. Now, this is something that is lacking because there is no such data gathering that is happening at, we can say, at a state level or even at the national level comprehensively, and it is due to this reason any public policy cannot be formulated because of lack of such database. Road safety, as far as we talk about, are compiled individually from the police station records, which are aggregated at first district level, state level, and then further at the national level before being published. Now, here the problem is that when these reports are basically used to understand the cases of road accident, we only get the information about the deaths, casualty, and these provide very basic analysis. And unless and until you have very clear comprehensive idea about the regions behind the road accidents, whether it could have implemented, what was the lacking there where the accident has happened, whether it was the fault of the motorcyclist, whether the traffic violations was something that has been observed, whether the traffic safety rules were followed by the this parties or not. Unless and until you have such a comprehensive picture, it becomes very, very difficult to have an effective intervention or program evaluation. So furthermore, these tables often contain inaccurate information many times, or key variables like the victim's mode of transport, data crucial for road safety management. So due to this reason, as there is a lack of data, as there is a lack of proper surveillance database, the intervention is something that also lacks behind. If we try to understand the status of India vis-a-vis world, what we can see that road safety varies significantly across India, and with per capita death rates differing more than threefold between states. That means in some state, if death fold is suppose 100 per capita, in some state it can be 300 per capita. If you talk about the states here like Tamil Nadu, Telangana, and Chhattisgarh, they have recorded the highest death rate at 21.9, 19.2, and 17.6 per 100,000 people respectively. On the other hand, if we talk about the eastern states such as West Bengal and Bihar, it had the lowest rate at 5.9 per 100,000 in 2021. Now again, what is the reason behind this? There can be multiple reasons. Are people more aware here? Do people follow traffic rules more religiously here? This might not be correct. It also has to do with the vehicle density per capita. If obviously in any state vehicle density or number of vehicles per we can say per 100,000 is high, obviously the accident rate will also shoot up. Plus the kind of roads we are talking about, whether it is a national highways, what is the penetration of state highways, rural roads, and all we talk about. So everything we have to understand, and for that we need a proper database, which again is lacking here. As far as the recent report is concerned, the 6 states such as UP, Maharashtra, MP, Karnataka, Rajasthan, and Tamil Nadu, they account for nearly half of all traffic fatalities in India. So this is the major findings that we can talk about from this particular report. If you take a look at again what the data is saying, if you look at the states, major states where traffic road accidents are major reason behind the death. So as we can see the casualty, you see the victims we are talking about, most of the road accident victims are riding on the motorized two-wheeler. That is common in all the states. Other vehicles, as we can see, the ratio is very, very less. Second number we can see is obviously of pedestrians. So if we talk about, and third if we talk about, we have the bicycle. That means we can understand that most of the road accident victim, they are either riding two-wheelers, motorized two-wheelers, that is motorcycles, scooties, or they are riding bicycles, or even pedestrians. So these are three things where we have to have a proper intervention. Similarly, you talk about the percentage of road traffic deaths by type of impacting vehicle. The highest number we can see is obviously of the trucks here. Highest number of casualty has been caused by the trucks, followed by the cars. So four-wheelers are the reason behind impacting vehicles, death causing by impacting vehicles, and two-wheelers and pedestrians are the main victims and casualties here. Now we talk about the state performance. Only 8 states of India have audited more than half of their national highway length, which is very, very crucial for ensuring the road safety. Basic traffic safety measures talk about such as traffic calming, markings, signage, they are still lacking in most of the state, and even in many states if they are made, people are not aware about their rules and regulation, and sometimes even there is no following up of rules as well. Helmet use we talk about that in rural area is particularly very, very low, again due to lack of enforcement mechanism and enforcement personnel, and trauma care facilities are inadequate. So these two act as a deadly combination, because if a person is have an accident in rural areas, the probability obviously is very, very higher, and on the other hand, due to lack of trauma care facilities, the accident turning or injury turning into fatalities also becomes high. Tailored sales strategies are something that experts believe is important and essential to address the unique road safety challenges that is faced by different states of India. And this can range all the way from creating awareness, understanding, enforcing the traffic rules, as well as improving the infrastructure facilities, especially for the two-wheelers and the pedestrians. So India vis-a-vis world, again if we talk about, the report presents a sobering comparison between India and developed countries like Sweden and other Scandinavian nations which have excelled in road safety governance. So in 1990, if we talk about the India's status, Indian citizen or Indian person was 40% more likely to die in road accident than someone in the countries such as Sweden and Scandinavia, which are considered as epitome of road safety. In 2021, this figure had soared to 600%. That means an Indian person walking or we can say living in India has chance of death by higher than 600% by the countries or as compared to countries such as Sweden and Scandinavia. So this clearly states that the road safety governance and road safety measures have basically weakened. This might also be due to the rise in the number of vehicles as compared to 1990 and today. The report questions whether better equipped vehicles with more advanced safety features are the solution or not. And given that the two-wheelers, riders, cyclists and motorcyclists represent the majority of road fatalities, increasing the safety features of the vehicles also can play an important role here. So if you try to understand what can be the way forward to ensure road safety in India, it can be such as the central and state government, they should try to prioritize a scale up of road safety intervention, and for that against the database creation and evidence collection is very, very crucial. Second, a national database for fatal crashes, as we have discussed, should be established. And third, what we can say, the public should also be having access to this kind of system so that they can understand the specific risk to the road users and the effectiveness of various interventions implemented in the state, which can be emulated in the other regions of India as well. So that is all about this particular video. I hope you understood overall the findings of the road safety, status of road safety in India, the risks, challenges and the solutions. Thank you very much.